So Hot Toys just keeps dropping them. We got more announcements. Now we have an Artisan Luke Skywalker. Let's talk about it. Hey everyone, Mr. Mom Collectibles. I am back with another video, and today we're going to be taking a look at the announced. It was only 7 hours ago, a little different, middle of the afternoon kind of drop announcement. The Star Wars 1/6 scale Luke Skywalker Dark Empire Collection figure Artisan. Now, for those that have been following the news the last couple days, there was in fact if you want to call it a leak, there was a magazine that I believe a handout that was being given out during the Dark Side event. If you went there to go see the exhibit, and there was a photo in there of Howard Chan, and he had a lot of the figures that are being announced. The gold, the Gold Trooper, the Commander Cody, the Dark Trooper, this Luke, and so they were there, and it was just a matter of if we were going to get them. So here we are. So quick little synopsis. Star Wars 6 years after the Battle of Endor, the fight for freedom rages on. This collectible figure is meticulously crafted with a head sculpt of Luke Skywalker, going through all the details, inspired by Star Wars, including the interpretive artwork from Star Wars Dark Empire comic series. Hot Toys is delighted to announce a brand new figure that every Star Wars fan will enjoy, Luke Skywalker, from the Artisan Edition line. This is an exclusive release available with a limited quantity of 3,500 pieces in selected markets. Now, guys, we should know what we're getting in store for here. It's Artisan. If you're going to go through Sideshow, don't bitch and complain about not knowing the systems. Let's get real. Let's get that out of the way. Everyone always complains that they missed the deal and all that stuff. They didn't know when it was going to go on. There's an RSVP up, which we'll talk about on Sideshow. But let's get into the photos first. So I got some thoughts about this. Now, first and foremost, I know nothing about the character. I know the idea of it. I did the research, but I didn't follow it. I'm going to get it because it's Luke Skywalker. It's one of those characters just grandfathered in. It's a very unique piece. Surprised they made it an Artisan right off the bat. So this is the Artisan figure. Like I said, limited. Luke Skywalker with some drapery of Darth Vader, so it's like a hybrid, like a dark side version ish, and with the green lightsaber, it looks really great. Now the thing is, brand new head sculpt. A lot of people were really I didn't even bother to talk about the photo with Howard Chan because people are just any minute detail people are trying to dissect and make something out of it. Is it going to be a new head sculpt? It could be a reused Mando head sculpt. It could be something. It's a brand new sculpt. It's 100% a brand new sculpt, and the hair itself rooted and sculpted. We're going to get into that because oftentimes I wonder which one is the better one to go with. And in my opinion, I think the rooted one looks a lot better. Just overall, I think it looks better. It's going to be a lot more money. They look like they have identical features except for just the hair. But, it looks spectacular. It's not for everybody because, like I said, it's a very specific character from a very specific time in Star Wars in the comics. And so, I'm not pretending like, hey, everyone just clamor up to get this. If you're a fan of Luke Skywalker, I can understand it. Or if you're really embedded with this whole story more than I am, I 100% understand. But there's going to be a portion of people that are just going to FOMO buy it. Is what it is. You can't avoid that from happening. But like I said, the figure, it really looks awesome in terms of the look. I love the sculpt on it. And like I said, now the differences with the hair, like I said, this is the Artisan series hair. And so if you go back to the sculpted, my problem with the sculpted hair, I'm not exactly a fan of this pose, but it's okay. If I zoom in, I'm just not a fan of the hair personally. And to be more specific, it's Luke Skywalker's hair in Hot Toy form. I'm just not a fan of. I have the Snow Speeder, I have the Mando version, and I have the Bespin DX. And the hair, and like I said, it's nothing against it. It's just the style that he had in the 70s and 80s. It's just the style of hair that he had. Just like a dome haircut. It just doesn't translate well to 6 scale for me. Sculpted, I should say. It just looks like he literally has a bucket head of hair. And so when there's just not a lot going on here, it's very difficult to really gain texture. You're having to rely on the paint application. And like I said, there's really no individual strands of hair. You just have, just one big, I don't want to say blob. That's really not the right word I want to say, but it's just like a dome of hair. And so therefore it's hard. And, it looks fake to me. It looks like it's boop, popped on his head. Now, there shouldn't be a reason for it to be magnetic, but it looks like you could pop the hair off the head like you could with previous versions. And so, like I said, I'm not 100% sold on the hair. I mean, Hot Toys, I think usually has a pretty good track record for sculpted hair, better than art, in my opinion. But like I said, going from this, and I should have had them side by side. I apologize. But then going to this, it's like there is a huge difference. Now I know we're talking about prototypes here, but that just looks so much more natural. And I know people have said, "Well, it looks poop." I mean, that's how hair is, right? Hair is not perfect. It's meant to have its own character. So it might seem a little poofy, but that looks natural. I'm okay with the little bit of fibers that are sticking out. Hair is not to be meant to be perfect like that. And you got to remember, this is a really big deal for Hot Toys because it's the first short-haired rooted figure. Everything previously was, Jack Sparrow, the Joker, longer hair, Scarlet Witch. So Anakin Skywalker was a little bit longer. So I mean, you can, yeah, his hair was down to like his shoulders, kind of thing. But this is definitely the shortest of hair that they've done, in my opinion. And so it's starting to open up a little more of an avenue of what figures could be in the Artisan line. And another thing is still surprising me is how many figures we're getting. Artisan has not become like a quarterly thing or every 2 years. They're literally dropping them whenever the hell they want to. So you got to be really prepared because these are, expensive figures. But like I said, I like the rooted a lot better. This just looks like a photograph here. I think the hair just looks a lot better. So in my opinion, but as I said, I'm not trying to persuade anybody because there is going to be a financial difference between this figure and the regular. I mean, typically I know HK pricing is out on this, and like I said previous, if you haven't seen my Darth Maul video I uploaded earlier, I really don't want to talk conversions and stuff like that because there is some markups too. Now, but in terms of the RSVP, if you go over to the Sideshow Coming Soon page, it's up along with the other characters. So you have the Clone Trooper Gold, Luke Skywalker Standard. Here's a standard Artisan. You got this Shadow Trooper, the Darth Mauls. So if we click on here, there's your RSVP for this. And now the biggest thing for this figure, this is going to be going off tomorrow. And so when you go to RSVP, it's going to be Friday, May 3rd. And, it's going to be, like I said, probably early, afternoon. So we just got to be prepared. So it's going up quick. Same thing with the Jack Sparrow. I mean, Jack Sparrow was like within 24 hours. So it's going to be the same deal. And if all this stuff is going up, it's going to be, Sideshow's going to get gridlocked, probably. Honestly, it's probably going to get gridlocked because most likely all of this stuff. Now, just so people aren't freaking out, if I had to assume, once again, an assumption, the Maul is going to be standard. The Shadow Trooper is going to be standard. The Gold Trooper, I know we're jumping off to the gold, but like, see right here, the gold is telling you this will be Friday, May 3rd at 9 a.m. So the Gold Trooper is going to be tomorrow at 9 a.m. So they're probably going to space them out all day. So he's 9 a.m. The Shadow Trooper, Friday 3rd. So this may not have anything special on it. I know the gold is limited. So out of all these figures, you're probably realistically going to be able to get Maul whenever you want and the Shadow Trooper whenever you want. But the gold Clone Trooper and Luke are going to be, getting the queue. And so, like I said, RSVP for it, get ready, be alert, no bitching, because every time one of these things comes out, people complain, I missed this, the Sideshow system doesn't work. When the system doesn't work, it's a pain in the ass and it sucks. But ironically, when it works and you get your figure, there's nothing wrong with the system, right? How it is with everything. So it really feels like there's a lot of noobs out there, even people who quote unquote have been in the game for a minute, show their newbie colors, rookie colors once in a while for the way they act and the way they say stuff. So be mindful, do your research. This is what the game is all about, right? If you're serious about this, you want the figure, RSVP, be on the lookout, whatever social groups you're in and stuff like that. People are talking about this stuff, right? This is the shit people are talking about now until people get this stuff. So it's impossible to be out of the loop. You have to do a little bit of social media digging and you'll get the info that you need. So it's not hard. And as a collector, if you're serious about this stuff, you're putting out the money, you got to do a little bit of the research. None of this shit's handed to you. Okay. Let's just be real about that. You got to do the legwork. You got to be prepared. You got to realize, like, you know, your computer, you got to get yourself ready. If you're out and about, you might get screwed. Have your backups. Like I said, you might have to go on the secondary resellers, and seeing who, Jeremy Casa, I know, is already putting out feelers who might need one in the event sideshow kind of falls apart. So shout out to Jeremy. He's already ahead doing his research, gathering interest for anybody out there. But as I said, be on the lookout. And what's going to happen is you most likely are going to have to log in, and then it's going to give you the choice of doing the sculpted or the rooted right there. So you're probably going to have to be waiting for either or. Like that's how it was previously. When you get in the queue system, all that stuff, and then you'll have the option of doing the Luke or the sculpted or artisan, and then it's going to give you your pricing. So you got to be committed to spend some money. Okay, be prepared. 500 shipping and tax. I don't know what that price is, but it's going to be north of that probably with shipping, tax, all that stuff. You got to be prepared to do that. And it's going to be anywhere between 400 to 500. It's what the artisans have been. And so I'm just trying to help people out and just be honest and cut through the bullshit. Those are just going to wait in line, taking up spots. I think that's stupid. There's a lot of streamers out there tomorrow that'll probably stream the purchases, which I think is stupid. They're just taking up a line for somebody else. They'll either buy it, cancel it, or they'll just stay in line to talk about it and then jump out. They're taking up a spot for somebody else. If you're serious about this piece, then be serious and get in line. And there's going to be people who are flipping this thing. It is what it is. But it sucks, but that's the game, right? But you got to be prepared. That's all my advice is. You got to be prepared. But great looking piece. I'm going to take my chances tomorrow in the queue, see what happens. And we'll see what happens from there. I'm RSVP'd. I suggest you guys do the same. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. Drop a like on this video. Please consider subscribing if this is, in fact, your first time. This is Mr. Mom Collectibles saying take care. I'll see you guys in the next video.